What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels podcast. I'm your host, Brad, joined by my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
It's a jam-packed episode for you guys this week. We have 2 weeks worth of news, a shitload of new releases. We're talking GAMBO in Destiny 2, and I'm going to give you some impressions from some stuff I played at the GameStop Expo last week. But yeah, so like I said, we've been gone for a couple weeks. No question week, by the way, this week because we're recording this at noon on Labor Day, which is much earlier than our normal recording time. And for you guys watching on YouTube, this is the first look on this channel of the new studio that we have set up. Not decorated yet, very plain still. But don't expect this every week. God damn it, because because that can't happen from a logistics standpoint. So let's start with what we have been playing. I will defer to you guys first because you both have been playing Yakuza Kiwami 2. Terrence, I can't believe you're playing Yakuza Kiwami 2. That's weird.
I played the original.
Did you really?
Yeah. I played and finished the original one on the PlayStation.
I didn't think you played those games.
I played the first two.
Okay.
And then I didn't. But everyone was talking about how good this one was, and I really enjoyed. I remember enjoying the second one. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go ahead and download. It's $50." It's good. Like, it's still good, man. And that graphical upgrade that I think is called the Dragon Engine.
Yeah.
That they use this one for Yakuza 6.
Yeah.
And they just use the same engine. It's a very good game. Like, the combat system, which is my biggest thing. It's still a little stiff. Still have some issues with it. But the story, like, you span it up. This is some Metal Gear Solid level. Like,
it's a
cutscenes. Yeah, like them shit, like it's like 40 minutes worth of cutscenes before you hold the controller.
What?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. There's a lot of story going on in the Yakuza games. But like once they let you go about your business in the city, the cities are like a tenth of like a Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm.
They're so small.
That's probably better, honestly.
Yeah,
like I feel like the Rockstar games are too big. Like there's way too much.
You don't have cars.
You
can't, and he's just running around the city. But they're jam packed with shit to do. Like I spent 45 minutes playing fucking Virtua Fighter 2. Like I'm dead serious. It was crazy. I go into the club saying, I'm like, oh shit, there's Virtua on in Virtua Fighter 2. Let me go ahead and play this. Got my ass handed to me because I'm not good anymore in it. Either one of those games. And then I'm like, I'm doing the claw machine and shit like that. I'm like, why am I in here for so long?
I don't have to ask you if you enjoyed yourself.
So I left there, and then there's like crazy wacky ass side mission. I just finished that mission with a dude wants you to take pictures. Did you catch?
Yeah. It was like, oh, you don't want to take pictures? Well, I'm gonna make you take pictures.
The funniest part of that sequence was you go into there and he's like, hey, the guy shows up and he's like naked. Yo was like, nah, fuck that, and just walks up.
I immediately thought of you. Terrence. As soon as the director comes in nothing but a thong and his oiled up body, and it's just like, I'm the director here. Without missing a beat, without saying a word, the main character turns around and walks away.
Crying because I would have like, no, I just left. That's exactly what I would have done. That was probably the funniest thing I've seen. Like all the other shit is supposed to be funny. That was the funniest thing I saw in the game so far. Because he was like, nah, fuck this. I don't need this shit. He's like, wait, hold on. So then you start taking pictures, and he makes you take your shirt off, and then he's like doing all kind of crazy shit. And then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna put these on like the internet or whatever to take it to some like picture fair or whatever. And what's the guy? What is his name?
Kiryu.
He's like, no, you're not. He's like, that's not gonna happen. They're like, yeah, it is. Like, no, it's not. Don't. And then you get into a fight.
See, this is when I say that Kazuma Kiryu reminds me of you. These are the moments that I'm talking about, yo. These are the moments that I'm talking about.
I see it.
Yeah, because
that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
He's a man of few words, right? But he's confident enough in his abilities where he's not going to just take shit. And that's like, I love this character, man. Like he is the badass with a heart of gold, man. Yeah. And he just like
literally.
No.
he literally like, no. It just walked off. But like, no, it's a fun game, man. Like, and then you're constantly getting upgrades. Like, oh, you eat and you get fucking upgrades. I mean, where you get points to upgrade your character. And like, if you have never played this game or any of them, like, I don't even know where you would start.
I would start with
Kiwami 1.
I would actually start with Yakuza 0. It's $20. It's a PlayStation 4 greatest hits or whatever.
Is that the one that takes place in the 80s?
Yeah. And it's the perfect jumping off point. You could pretty much jump in at 1 or 2 or 0. 6, you know.
It's like the culmination of all.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily run out and buy 6, but if you're curious about these games, they're not Grand Theft Auto clones. They're action RPGs. And again, if you were like me and you missed Shenmue, Yakuza will fulfill that itch. And yeah, this was great, man. Like the story, I've never played Yakuza 2.
Yeah.
So the story so far is great. But it does this weird balance with like this serious melodrama with these just like, hey, you got to piss in a urinal for a mini game. Like,
I haven't won that yet because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I don't know either. I'm just
lost.
They're like, increase the stream. Well, all right, increase the stream then. Like, fucking piss. But apparently that's not what you're supposed to do.
I don't get it.
Yeah, man. No, I love this series, man. It's so wacky, and when I think Japan, this is what I think. You know what I mean? Like,
it is kind of strange that a lot of these similar style games are coming out. Like, because Tomb Raider is kind of in the same vein in some respects.
No,
obviously not as open and not as mini game laden, but it still is that like, you know, action RPG style of action game.
Tomb Raider is more action, whereas this is more RPG.
Okay.
You can get into random encounters.
So you don't think Yakuza 2 deciding to come out like 2 weeks before Spider-Man is not going to hamper them?
No. There's a very specific clientele.
Yeah, you know if you're going to pick up a Yakuza game.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's because people there's not a huge fan base, but like people
loyal.
love these games,
right? Okay.
And I remember playing the first 2, but I just never. I don't know why I never picked up the other ones. Maybe because they were on PS4.
Some of them were like weren't released in this country, and so some of them. So I hope that they release 3, 4, and 5. Like one of them took place in the past, like in feudal Japan, and
that was one that didn't come out here.
Yes, but it's a great series, man, and I hope that they continue to release these. They're releasing them because it's these past couple of years are the 10-year anniversaries of the first one. Like last year was the 10-year anniversary of the first one. This year is the 10-year anniversary of the second one, and I hope they continue to come out because it's a great series, man.
The first one had like Hollywood actors doing voiceovers.
Yeah, Michael Madsen.
Yeah, like Elijah Dushku, Michael Madsen was in it. I can't remember who did the main character though. But yeah,
I mean that's about where Michael Madsen was back in that time. That's not that surprising, right? Yeah. So I'm like I said, not surprised that you like it. I am surprised because I had no idea you played them before. So Terrence,
just the first 2.
Give us your review. Give us your impressions.
Like I really wish I could remember
of Dead Cells that you've been playing. Apparently,
Dead Cells is a good game. It's a very well put together game. I've only beaten the first boss twice. The way the game is designed, you start in a dungeon and then you pick up 2 weapons. You go around, you fight your way through this prison, and then you go to another level. It can split between 2 levels. And you fight your way through that, and then there's another level you go through. You have to go through 3 levels before you actually get to the first boss. The problem was not the problem, but the way the game is designed, it's a rogue, whatever the fuck that's called. So if you die, you start back at the very beginning of the game. But during your playtime, you collect these things called cells, and these are basically to upgrade your weapons. They upgrade. It allows you to buy more weapons from the person that's in the beginning of the game. I'm terrible at this game. I am awful. I looked at my death count. I think it's at 67 right now. And the thing is, like I had a 35-minute run to try to, because you have to get to the end of the game and finish it.
Right.
If you don't, you literally start at the beginning of the fucking game. A 35-minute run this morning, matter of fact. died, lost all my cells. I had like 50 something cells, died, started at the beginning.
You can get them back if you reach where you.
No, you don't.
Oh, you don't.
No.
Oh,
You don't.
That's usually one of the like hallmarks of that style of
Well,
game.
no, you have to make it through a level,
right,
in order to save them. So you
can kind of bank them as you go through.
Yeah, you bank them, but like sometimes you don't get a lot at all.
Right.
Sometimes you can get up to like 40. Sometimes you get 6. So and then there's things that cost like 400 cells to unlock.
Mm-hmm.
So the further you get in, the more cells you get. But say you get really far and you get caught in some bullshit like loop of just getting hit over and over again, you lost 50 cells. It's not like you can. And the thing is, there's no guarantee that you're going to make it back to that level because sometimes you get you can't pick which weapons you want. They're just random. Mm-hmm. And then as you go through the levels, you can pick up another weapon. But the thing is, like, you can design, there's 3 different things you can power up. I think it's like brutality, health, and there's some other thing that you do. So you have to kind of tailor what you level up with the weapons that you have. Because again, you can't choose the weapons you have. So you just kind of got to get good at everything. And it's fucking hard, yo. Like, it's really hard. Like I've beaten my longest run was I think 40 minutes, and I was doing really well. I had a whole lot of health. I had like really powerful weapons. Then I got to the 3rd boss. He beat the shit out of me. I'm like, well, what the fuck?
It sounds like you're at least enjoying it more than you like
fun.
Cuphead.
It's more satisfying than Cuphead because the combat is really fast. Like if you get good, if you watch a game clip of somebody that's really good at that game and like they're killing things and fucking flying through the level, and it just looks really cool. And the animation, it's 8 or 16-bit or whatever you're going to call it type animation.
Mike's really favorite style.
Yeah, his favorite.
Gross.
Like, I don't know if you would like it. Like it's a fun.
No,
it's
I
fun.
absolutely wouldn't like it. Absolutely,
I
wouldn't like it.
can tell you straight up that he would not dig that.
I'm trying to do everything I can to reduce my stress lately, and that is not going to.
Because sometimes you'll get in those situations like, yo, I know I have to be close to the end of this level.
Said Mike is a guacamole style of guy. Like,
Yeah,
he just wants a game that he can run through and suplex some dudes and have fun and enjoy it.
Punch a chicken. You know what I mean?
It's like I feel myself getting. That's the other thing about the game. Like you can tell because you can again, since you can't really choose what weapons you have, you just get stuck with whatever the fuck. You just got to kind of learn how to use those weapons, and then you can tell when you're going to get fucked over. Like you'll have like a really slow weapon, and then you'll have like a whack ass like bow and arrow. And you're like, this is not a good kind.
Like I said, the reviews on the game, both plagiarized and not, are overwhelmingly positive.
But the plagiarized and the one that he got it from is spot on.
Yeah,
like they allow you to use your you have to. If you don't, you're not gonna win. You're just not gonna get to the level. You have 2 weapons and you have 2 like bombs or like traps and something like that. And they recharge really fast. And then you can get things that make them recharge even faster. So some bombs take 15 seconds to recharge. My best run, I got them down to like 3 seconds.
Nice.
So just launching shits at everything. And man, it's hard though. Like I feel like I'm not gonna beat it. But I feel myself getting better, which is I like that. I can feel myself
kind of
literally getting better at the game and kind of getting longer runs more outside of dying every 10 minutes, which
like I said, you'll play it up until Friday and then probably stop.
Games that I'm probably not going to be playing for another 3 weeks.
Yeah,
because Spider-Man comes out on Friday. So, but like if you like those kinds of games, like the hype is real. It's a really good game.
So let's me and Mike will talk about Gambit in Destiny 2, or GAMBO as I'm just going to call it from now on because that's way more fun.
I like GAMBO.
Speaking of Destiny 2, before we continue, because it's free on PS4. To download. I don't know if it still is.
It still is. The whole month.
The whole month. Yeah. So I was like, somebody was like, hey, in our fan group, senseless.com/fans. Somebody was like, hey, it's free, download it so we can get that 1v1. I'm like, first of all, I don't even play Destiny. What the fuck are we talking about right now? But I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll go ahead and download it. So I downloaded it, and I woke up in the morning, and I created I think it was like Thursday morning or whatever. I woke up, created my character, and then the cinematic started, and I was like, why did I download this? and I just deleted it.
God damn, man.
That's a shame too, because that first mission, like the Red War campaign itself, is not that satisfying. But the first mission is pretty hype. Like it gets you into it.
Like the cinematic came on, I was watching it, and like 30 seconds into the cinematic, I was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna play this." I just wasted.
That's a shame, because Forsaken seems like it's going to be going to do what for Destiny 2 what Taken King did for Destiny.
I'm sure. I don't
essentially. So
like it was like 68 gigs that I just deleted.
I wouldn't have deleted it.
It's taking up space.
Maybe you would come back around.
Nah, I'm good.
You got a 1 terabyte hard drive. You don't need to worry about that fucking 60 gigs.
It was space taking up that I could put something else on there. Nah, I'm just not going to play that game. I just when I did that, I was like, wow, I really don't give a fuck. Like it surprised me.
If Spider-Man wasn't around the corner, would you think you would have kept it?
No.
Interesting. Okay.
No.
Well,
I just downloaded up 2 other games.
Well, one of the reasons that I'm excited about Forsaken is because they're adding the Gambit mode, the hybrid PvP PvE mode to the game. Now, going into this, I just assumed, as I think you did as well, that this was just gonna be kind of like another horde mode style game that happened to have like a PvE mild element. Oh no!
Oh, you played it?
They had a preview. They had a preview on Saturday for it. Oh no! It is highly strategic. Shockingly, I couldn't believe like the strategy and the layers that are involved with modes. So basically, you go through and there's a shitload of ads. It's 4-on-4, and each team is playing on a separate map basically, and ads are coming in. And as you kill them, they drop these motes, which you have to pick up. And then there's a bank in the middle of the map that you have to deposit them in. And you're trying to get to 75, because when you do that, this giant yellow bar that they call Primeval spawns. And if you kill that, you win the round. And it's best 2 out of 3 rounds that you're playing.
That sounds like Titanfall.
That it might have taken inspiration from that.
There's a mode in Titanfall where you have to bank money and like you get other stuff. Yeah.
So, but what happens is that when you bank like a certain number of motes, like there's a thing at 5, 10, and 15 motes. That when you bank that many at a time, it locks the other team's bank down, and it sends like a big bar monster to their other side that they have to kill before it'll open back up again.
Exactly what happens in that mode. It's not like a monster or anything, but I can't remember what it is. But it locks the bank.
Okay, yeah. So but the catch with this one is that there's also every few like 25, 50, and then 75 motes, and then once the other team's primeval spawns, you can do it pretty regularly. You can send a player from your team over to the other team's map where you basically become an enemy and you can kill them. And if the primeval on the other team is spawned, every kill that you get on the other team heals their primeval. It heals them up back to like a good chunk of their health, basically.
That's different.
To the point where if you wipe the whole team, it basically fully heals the boss monster that they have to kill. So like there was literally a match where the other team spawned their primeval, and we only had 30 motes in the bank, and you have to get to 75. Mm-hmm. And through good invasions, we were able to keep the other team's primeval health high, get our primeval out, and just melt the shit out of it to win the round, basically. Which is fucking awesome. And that's where the strategy comes in. Like, when you have motes... Oh, that's the other thing, too. Like, if you're carrying motes and you get killed, whether by the other team's player or the enemies, you lose them and they're gone forever. Like, they don't like Sonic pop out like the rings do. Other people they're just gone. So you're sitting there with like 9 or 10 motes, and you're like, oh, I want to get to 15 to get a large blocker. Then all of a sudden you see like Invader present on your map, and you're just like, oh shit! Like, what do I do? Like, do I try to hang on to it, or do I try or run to the bank just because I don't want to get killed? Because the Invader also, when they come in, has an overshield, so you can't just pop them in 2 seconds. Like they'll actually stand up for a little bit.
The Invader is only in there for like
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah, maximum.
Yeah.
That's enough time to fuck shit up.
Yeah, it's a lot of time to fuck some shit up.
Especially if you have an overshield.
And especially now, because now that like snipers and shotguns and stuff like that are more prevalent because of how they re-changed the weapon system. Now the Invader can just stand on one end of the map and just start sniping at your team.
Yeah, buddy.
if you're all grouped up together, or pop their super and just charge in and fuck you up.
I was an Invader once, and it was glorious.
Oh, I invaded all the time. like when you invade, so like making plays in the Crucible is one thing, but when you can invade, and especially when the primeval spawn, that's awesome because like you see that health bar go, you're like, yeah, like that's fucking great. But like when you invade, like on the other team's player bars that have their screen name above it, also tells you how many motes they're carrying. So like when you go in there, like you go over the people that have like the most motes. Like if you can kill someone with like 10 or 11 motes stored up, it's awesome. It's amazing. It's really fun.
You're just a big ass troll.
Yeah.
It's a fun game mode, man. So what my team was doing, and you know, I play with randos all the time, but there would be one person who would constantly get 5 motes and bank them, and then 5 motes and bank them, and the other 2 would get more motes, so that we constantly had their bank blocked.
Right. That's the other thing too. The blockers stack up. So like if you keep banking and sending blockers their way, they have to kill all of them before their bank will unlock.
So the blockers are ads?
Yeah. But big ads, like orange bar,
ads.
like orange bar ads. Yeah. So.
Right. And it's a fun game mode, man. I was not expecting it to be this much fun, but man, I dig it. And I love invading. Invading is so fun, man. I only got a chance to do it once because once the portal comes up, everybody wants to invade, especially if you're playing with random people, right? Yeah. You'll see a bunch of people just running for that portal.
Oh, and the other best part too with invading is that right outside of the portal, there's a heavy ammo like drop point, so you can just pick up your ammo, run like, and just wreck house on people. It's really fun. It's gonna be a fun co-op mode because it's the teams that work together best, like especially coordinating. Because the problem is when you're solo queuing, it's a free for all for the motes, and everyone wants to get the motes. But you're actually better served, like Micah said, only having like 2 people on your team collect them.
It's 4v4. Right?
Yeah, it's 4v4. So you're better served having only 2 people pick up all the motes. And so that way you can get the larger blockers more consistently. And you don't have to worry about losing them like if an invader pops over, if you get into a hairy situation. Because as the game rounds progress, the enemies get stronger. And you die a lot more frequently, like when you get to round 3 than you did in the first 2 rounds. For sure. It's, like I said, much more fun than I thought. They're all, and because it works regardless of which style you like to play. Because if you like to run strikes and you like to do PvE stuff, you're going to love like just the multitude of ads you're going to kill. And if you're a big PvP player and you like making plays, like you're going to love invading. It's the most fucking fun thing to do in the world, to go over and
I find it interesting that it took them this long.
People were saying, I can't believe that they haven't had a mode like this since the beginning.
Yeah, and they probably had it tucked in their belt.
Well, if you're saying there's a mode in Titanfall that's similar, that's probably where they drew a lot of inspiration from.
Like that, and what are those games? They're I can't remember. There's a game that has that same type of mechanic. It's like the top down
RTS games.
Yeah, no, not necessarily RTS.
Oh, like not StarCraft.
Jesus Christ. Not World of Warcraft. It's a really popular game right now.
I don't know.
I don't remember what the fucking name of it is, but it's very similar to that as well. Like you bank stuff and then you put an enemy in your. It's
basically like Destiny.
It's like a mixture of just a whole bunch of shit that just kind of threw into Destiny.
It's basically Destiny's version of the like American Gladiators Powerball game that they. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, Gambo is fun. I can see myself doing that mode quite a bit when Forsaken does come out. I hope you can do it right away, like right from.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't want to have to unlock it via story missions and all that shit. I just want to play it, you know.
And like I said, it'll be much more fun, especially once we're getting like new loot and stuff like that. Because the spoils at the end of the match you get a lot of shit. Like you get 2 legendaries usually, and a few blues and a bunch of glimmer and shit like that. So
how do you like the changes?
The sandbox changes?
Yeah.
It's going to take some getting used to.
Yeah.
Like it was weird because like I have the raid sniper, which is now a top slot weapon. So I like went into the Crucible and remembered that I'm not good at sniping other people. Like I'm good at sniping ads, but not other players. So I might have to practice on that.
Smite.
A little bit more. Smite.
It's very similar. It's like Smite mixed with that mode from Titanfall. That's what it reminds me of.
And Crucible's way different too. I mean, like I said, I've been getting sniped. I've been getting drop shotted by people, which that's what's happened since Destiny 1.
That's what's fucking me up, getting drop shotted, man. Because I'm a Titan, and like most Titans, I'm a dummy. So I just run head first into shit, and I'm having these, especially if it's like a hunter. Like, fuck you, Hunter.
You have to check your lines now, for sure.
Because hunters will be like, oh, you want some of this? Whoa, Like, oh, all right.
And then what was I gonna say? I just lost my train of thought. I was happy to see that shoulder charging. I was worried when they announced the changes to that was gonna become like the prevalent strategy, and I haven't really seen that.
Not too much
yet, which is nice. Now you can one hit kill on a Titan shoulder charge, basically. So which was not that way before. No, but it's nice to have 2-hit melees again. It's nice that the TTKs decrease because it makes a lot more weapon archetypes way more viable.
Yeah,
and like hand cannons were good before. Now they're going to be like super.
Now they're going to be they're going to be ridiculous now.
Yeah. Especially if you can aim with them, if you do the high RPM ones, like that's going to be probably the primary meta for most folks.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
Look, the balance changes while they're going to take some getting used to. I don't hate them. Mm-hmm. I was wondering why I was getting so much planetary materials. You know, when I was doing my, I was like, wow, I'm getting a lot of these things.
It's
like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, I like, oh, okay. And I'm just infusion shit, and I wasn't thinking.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean I can't? Oh, damn. And then I look at the requirement for legendary shards, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's why I've been saving them for 2 months now.
Now it's 25. God,
I have like 400. Just banked up. So
yeah, I've just been blowing them, man. I've just been blowing them away. So I'm looking forward to it. I run a Titan as my main, so I'm super excited to get in the Crucible and dust off the Dune Marchers and start shoulder tackling people and
the story looks fun too. Like the launch trailer was really cool. The story is exciting. It looks like it's gonna have, especially at the beginning, some cool moments and just what you're doing in the story. Like you're literally like hunting down outlaws, basically. Like that's kind of the premise. And so I'm hoping that the boss battles have some unique mechanics to them because each of the bosses is very unique in how they fight. So I'm excited. It looks good.
Is all that free?
Of course not.
No.
Yeah,
of course not.
Of course not.
No.
You're gonna have to pay. So
I mean, if you
like
have
$50,
PlayStation
you
Plus,
get 60. I mean, 60 to buy the Legendary Edition, which gives you all of the expansions, which you need all of them to play. So,
or you can just download it on PlayStation Plus and then buy Forsaken.
No, you have to have Warmind and
Osiris. You have to have
too.
Warmind and Osiris.
Yeah, you have to have both. So, yeah. I mean, the reason they made Destiny 2 free was just to give people a taste to get them. First it's free, and now you got to pay. So,
but like that's just like bare bones Destiny 2.
It is, but it at least will inform you if you enjoy like the gameplay to see if you want to pay $60 to get into this thing. So. That's smart. Super smart.
Yeah, it is. But
it's
like apparently when it first was released, it wasn't all that great.
No, but they've also had a year. Like I said, this will be the Taken King Part 2. Basically, they've had the year's worth of improvements to fix the economy of the game and they're bumping the power level up 200 spots in this expansion.
Yeah.
So if you're
600.
Right. So people were bitching like, oh, I got the max power in like a month and now there's no reason to play. Well, guess what? It's going to take you a lot fucking, especially now because you can't infuse as easily as you could. Because like in regular Destiny 2, like infusion was like nothing. Like infusion was easy. You could it was nothing to every time you got a drop that was 1 or 2 power higher, you would do it because the cost to infuse was nothing. Now the cost is significantly higher. So it's going to be like it was in Destiny 1 where you're like, hey, I really like this gun. I want to carry it with me, but I'm going to wait till I have something I can infuse that's like maybe 30 levels higher because I don't want to waste all these materials to bump it up by 3 because that doesn't fucking do anything.
Because who cares?
Right. But it's smart because it forces you to use the new shit when the expansion comes out. You can't just rely on your old stuff. And random rolls are back and all this other stuff. So it looks like it's going to be a good time.
They put random rolls back.
They did because people asked for them.
So it's fucking stupid. Like, oh, this is the gun. Oh, this is the gun. Okay.
Yep.
Everybody has it. What the fuck? All right, fine.
Yeah, that's looking like that one statement they made about your 10th Better Devils will be different than your first Better Devils was not necessarily true.
Fuck you, talk the same gun, nigga. Like,
not necessarily true at all. We're still sticking to what we've been playing because I, of course, as you know, we did not record last week because I was at GameStop Expo. So I didn't get to play a lot. There actually wasn't a lot of like, there were a lot of games there, not as many as years past, but not a lot of stuff that I was aiming to play. The two that I really wanted to play, I wanted to play Gambit while I was there. They didn't have it, I guess, because the expansion was coming out in a week anyway. Yeah. I really wanted to play Anthem. Didn't have it playable. So I was really bummed out about that. So I didn't play a ton. I, of course, played my customary A couple matches of FIFA because, of course, I did. I played Smash Brothers. It's certainly Smash Brothers.
It's Smash.
It is certainly Smash.
All right.
I don't really have anything to say besides that. They didn't have any of the new, like, I wanted to try the Castlevania stage, but the demo that they had didn't have that on there.
Okay.
A couple hardware things that I tried. So the Turtle Beach Elite Pro 2 is a headset that's coming out soon. That I had the first one, but it was a 2-part deal where you could buy the headset and then there was an optional amp that you could do if you wanted to get like the superior sound quality. But they were like $200 a piece. And I was like, I'm not buying the amp because that's a waste. The headset I got for half off too. Like I wasn't paying $200 for a fucking headset.
Is it 5.1 at least?
It's 7.1 actually. So,
well, okay.
but like true, like they actually, like each speaker has like 4 fucking speakers. Like each ear cup has 4 speakers in it. So it's like true 7.1.
We would get 7.1 in some fucking headphones.
Right. But
it's very bizarre how that works.
But they're coming out with a new model of this headset, which comes with the amp now packed in with the headset. So it's a little bit more expensive. It's $250, but it comes with the amp itself and most of the functions of the amp, because the old amp used to be like a slider, like it had like 4, like you would expect on a mixer. This one, it has a volume and a mute on it on the amp itself, but everything else you control with your phone through an app that they have.
Oh wow,
on there as well.
God damn.
So these looks pretty cool. The reason I like these is because they're literally the most comfortable headset that I have ever owned, because the ear cups in them have like breathable fabric, but they also have cooling gel that it's lined with, so you don't get hot when you're playing them.
That's because I play a lot of games online, and when you take that shit off your fucking ears,
not with this one.
You can
not with this one.
Yeah.
So
you can build a candle with all the wax that's just oozing out of your ear.
So look forward to those. I did mess with the SCUF Vantage controller. This is the licensed PS4 SCUF controller. That's basically their elite controller, for lack of a better term. You would really like it because it feels significantly larger than the regular PS4 controller. Plus, of course, you have the offset analogs that you.
Yeah, I don't like. Still don't like that.
It's hard to evaluate those controllers when you use them in a convention setting, because you only can use them for 5 minutes, and they're like, you have to retrain your hands on how to use controllers like that, because I kept squeezing the controller occasionally and I would hit the buttons on the back, right? Like the paddles that are on the back of it, and do something that I wasn't intending to do.
An elite controller.
Yeah.
Do you do that sometimes? When
When was
the last time you used it, motherfucker?
Not really. They have the Elite has different like paddles that you could put on the back of it, so you can switch out the paddles that the longer ones or shorter ones and stuff like that. So it's not too bad.
Yeah. This one also has 2 additional bumper buttons that are on the side near the top of the controller. So like if you're holding it, you can just easily like turn your index finger in to pop that as well. So it's cool. It's really customizable. You can actually you can open the front of the controller because it has swappable faceplates, but you can also take out the vibration modules as well if you wanted to make the controller lighter. Also, which is kind of crazy.
I don't want a lighter controller. I don't like light.
Yeah.
I need a little heft to the controller.
With the vibration modules, it definitely has some.
Like PlayStation 3 controllers were the worst.
Yo, they were made of paper mache.
They were the worst. I'm like, yo, this thing.
And you had a DualShock.
Less than
you should have seen when the 6-axis came out before they added the rumble back
even worse, man.
Felt like you were holding nothing in your hand. So the controller is nice. The cost is still a little high.
Like $200
for the wireless version. It's $200. You get a wired one for $170.
Well, like wired is better though.
Wired is better.
Does it got the braided cord? With the
it does. Yeah. Yep. But still more expensive. Even the wired base model is still more expensive than the Elite controller is. But it doesn't take AA batteries either, so it's got that going for it, which is nice. I talked to Mike about this. I haven't told you. So there's a new company, not a new company, but there's a new product that's coming out from this company that's making smaller scale upright arcade cabinets at like super affordable prices. I had actually already pre-ordered one because they're coming out with one that has 3 different Street Fighter editions on it. And but I got to play with it at the expo because they had them on display, and that's really cool. I will say,
do you like play it on? What do you like put on a table or something?
No, it's still an upright cabinet.
Upright
it's
cabinet.
just like 2/3 the size of a standard upright cabinet.
Okay.
But it still looks exactly like it. It's got the buttons mounted. It has like a 17-inch monitor that is sit into it as well. They also so they're designed to sit down at them, like that's the height that they're at. But they also sell like a riser, so if you want to stand up, you can put it on top of that, and it'll be stand up size. It's really cool. I was hoping just that the quality would be solid, and it is. So it's a good. They're not cheap. Like this one, I think is $300 for the Street Fighter one. But I've always wanted to own an upright cabinet. They're just very cost prohibitive, and this seems like a good in between step to be able to do that, and also not take up as much space in the house as a regular cabinet does.
$2,000.
Exactly. So and there's one that comes with I think Asteroids and a bunch of other classic arcade games, and there's another one that comes with other classic arcade games. But the Street Fighter one is the only one worth.
I'm like, I don't want to go back to fucking 1979. I'm fine.
Well, I mean, they're appealing to casual gamers. So the last game that I'm going to talk about is actually the game that I enjoyed playing the most at the expo. And it will shock and amaze both of you what this is. And that is Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
What?
Yes. What? Now to be fair, I think this might be a bit of what I call the Madden syndrome. So, if you played Madden a bunch and then you're just like, I'm done playing Madden, and you don't play for 6 years. And then you buy the 6 year later version of Madden.
I'm going on 14 years now.
Yeah, of Madden.
Yeah.
So if you played
2004 with fucking Michael Vick on the cover was the last time I played Madden.
So if you played Madden today, you would be like, wow, this is amazing, because you're the beneficiary of 14 years worth of upgrades.
Yeah.
In the series that you haven't seen the incremental.
You don't know me very well, do you?
That's fair, but
this is amazing. I just want to shoot people up. What? Huh? Wait.
So keep in mind that that's where I'm coming from. I haven't played Call of Duty in a serious fashion since the original Modern Warfare.
God,
the first one? Yeah, first one.
God damn!
I know.
Yo, that was 10 years ago.
I mean, I dabbled in Modern Warfare 2. I dabbled in World at War.
I played the first two and a little bit of World at War.
But I did not play them anywhere near as much as I played the original.
Yeah, I played
Modern Warfare.
Fuck out of that first game.
So that's the caveat. But Call of Duty was really fun because the setting that they're using, where it's still boots on the ground, but they're still taking liberties with the weapons and the gadgets that are in the game, is kind of the perfect setting for me. That's the kind of gameplay that I think.
I feel like it's because they're trying something different.
They are, and here's
you
what
haven't played it in fucking 10 years.
I'm absolutely saying that's true.
This is right up your alley.
Yes. So like I said, they still have the pick 10
new people, and those old people are like, I don't like this shit at all.
They still have the pick 10 system, which you can pick 10 perks balanced across your guns and other passive perks and stuff like that. But what they did now with this year, and I think we talked about this on the show, is they're adding a system that is similar to Overwatch, where there's 10 different classes of character, and before the match, you each player in the multiplayer match picks a class that is unique to them, that has a special super ability and a secondary ability as well.
And it has to recharge.
And it has to recharge, right. And you can also heal yourself on demand in this one as well.
But you had to pick up healing items.
Nope, not in this one. This one you have a stim. You have on your left trigger. You have a stim pack
that has to recharge
that has to recharge as well. But if you're in a gunfight, you can dip around a corner, pop that in. You'll start regenning, and then you can hop back in the firefight. Basically, it was actually really fun. Didn't hurt that I went 20-8 in the match that I played. probably also skewing my opinions of this as well, is that I did really good.
Okay.
But I'm thinking I'm going to keep my code this year that I get. I think I might dabble in some Call of Duty multiplayer.
That's all right.
And then I can play Blackout when that releases.
Blackout, the Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will be very curious to hear your Call of Duty stories, because it's just going to be weird just hearing you talk about Call of Duty.
It's weird though, because one of the things I hated the most about Modern Warfare was time to kill in standard matches was awful. I played hardcore exclusively because that's the only way that kills would be worth anything.
Yeah.
Time to kill is great in this one. If you land 3 headshots, you're gonna kill a guy. If you land 5 or 6 shots on the body, you're gonna kill a guy. Typically the guy who sees someone first is gonna win the gunfight. That's how it's supposed to be.
And that's how it was never like that.
Yeah, but that's how it was in this one. And also, the abilities that you get are interesting as well. The guy that I used was very much like a support class. style. So he had like this razor wire that you could deploy that would suppress enemies that ran through it, basically. So if you were trying to like capture a point, you could put it at one of the main entryways and hopefully they'd have to run through it. And his special ability was like this huge turret with like a railgun that popped up that you could, basically hide between and would take a shitload of damage so you could pop and fire and stuff like that.
Would he be able to dual wield those railguns?
I don't think so. Tune in premium members later this week. And we'll talk about that. So, but yeah, surprisingly, it was a lot of fun.
Wow. Okay.
Thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
I wish you hadn't said that because I don't need much to go spend some money on the video game.
Well, you should still wait to see, like, once I get it, if I'm actually, like, still playing and
you're still
enjoying myself and all that other stuff. But for now, shockingly, the game series that we have made a tradition of dragging to death on this podcast might actually be pretty good this year.
It is the 15th main installment of Call of Duty.
Jesus. Yeah. And again, they got rid of the campaign, which I don't care about because I never did that.
Yeah, no, the campaigns are dumb.
Yeah.
They really are.
They are. So that is a very extensive what we've been playing section for this week. Don't forget, go to YouTube. Our producer is shocked. 2-week episode, buddy. That's where that's coming from. Yeah, a lot of news too. Go to youtube.com/densepixels and hit the red subscribe button and ring the bell icon. That way you always know when we post an episode. You can watch this episode in video on YouTube. We post the podcast every week. Don't forget also to sign up for premium content if you have not done so yet. TNP Studios Premium, you go to densepixels.com/premium. It's just $5 a month or $50 for the entire year. This week is going to be a great week as well because you're getting a new episode of Look Forward. You're going to get a new episode of No Time to Bleed, which we're recording after this, which is going to be ridiculous. I can promise you that. And then airing of grievances. Jay and Mike are getting into my favorite era of Seinfeld for sure right now, which is very cool. And I think Mike and myself are recording a Men with the Golden Tongues probably sometime this week as well.
Yes.
If I have to imagine that. We're talking Bond gadgets on this next episode. It's going to be a good time. And again, no matter which pod catching app you use, be it Spotify, Pocket Cast, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, whatever, make sure you subscribe to the show and all the other TNP Studio shows as well, including the Nerdopocalypse and Black on Black Cinema. New releases. Release season started, guys. Because I'm about to run down a list. This is 2 weeks worth of releases, but here we go. Firewall 0 Hour for PlayStation VR. Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition. Fire Pro Wrestling World.
Was that out?
Yep, that came out last week.
Came out when Kiwami 2 came out.
Yep. So that's out there now. Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. Strange Brigade. Yakuza Kiwami 2. Pro Evolution Soccer 2019. That's last week's releases. This week's releases, Spider-Man, NBA 2K19 Anniversary Edition, Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age, NASCAR Heat 3, NBA Live 19, the 1 edition, Shadows Awakening, and Zone of the Enders, the second runner. Those are all major retail releases. Yeah, they're re-releasing it.
I've played that game like 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kojima is thrilled that they will continue to profit off of his, off his hard works.
Is there a new Metal Gear demo that's going to be with that game? Because that's the only reason I played it.
So, major release week. Lots of stuff, no matter what type of games you like to play, that might be of interest. Digital highlights, Destiny 2 Forsaken, SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy, The Golf Club 2019 featuring the PGA Tour, DayZ is on Xbox One preview, and by the way, since it's a new month, we have new free games that you can get. So, on Xbox Live, we'll start with Games with Gold. You are getting, if this thing would load sometime today, for the first entire month of September, you get Prison Architect. If you ever want to build your own prison,
I tried that, and I was like, "This is offensive." Like, I don't like this at all. Like, I don't know if I could choose the prisoners in it because they had all been white.
I think on the cover they're like all white, pretty much. So. For the second half of the month, you get a game called Live Lock, which I have no idea what that's about.
That's not good either. I played that as well.
All right, then. So,
do you put your social security number in that game and give you $1 million if you get scammed?
Whatnot? I didn't. Shut up.
And then on,
he got his social security card Like his identity stolen.
Yeah, he got his identity stolen because he's a dummy.
No, it was only once.
And then on Xbox 360, also backwards compatible with Xbox One, Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars, and Sega Monster World coming out as well. According to Xbox, that's 3,200 gamer score points that can potentially be earned across all these games.
Do people still...
Because that's what you have to sell
I
out
just
there.
wanted to break 100,000.
That's what you have to sell.
Right. That's what you do. So play these games so you can increase this number. That doesn't mean anything.
PlayStation Plus games, Destiny 2, as we mentioned, available for free right now. And then God of War 3 Remastered is also going to be available for free to you PlayStation Plus subscribers. So a little bit better month for PlayStation, I would say. For sure.
Yeah.
And then release date and new game announcements. Whew, here we go. White Xbox One X bundled with Fallout 76 releases October 16th.
Why gotta be white?
Well, you're going to like this too. The white Xbox One Elite controller is also coming out on October 16th.
Like, white gets dirty.
It does.
Like,
But Microsoft loves white.
Like, it's just weird. Like,
I can only assume at this point that Microsoft wants everything associated with them to be white. So Microsoft is racist, guys.
I mean,
Microsoft is racist. Shenmue 3 launch is set for August 2019.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, whatever, yo.
Saints Row the Third is coming to the Nintendo Switch for some reason. Date not given. PUBG leaves early access on September 4th, whatever that's supposed to fucking mean.
That's ridiculous.
Right. DMC 5 is getting a March 8th, 2019 release date. The Assassin's Creed franchise is skipping 2019. Probably a good idea.
good.
Onimusha Warlords comes to PS4 January 15th, 2019. The original Valkyria Chronicles coming to Nintendo Switch September 15th. Not the enhanced version, by the way. It is the original PS3 version of the game. And then Battlefield 5 delayed until November 20th. Probably a really good idea, considering it was scheduled to release the week in between Black Ops 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, that's not a good look for Battlefield, and it's a good thing that they moved it. Onimusha, I'm kind of torn. Right, like I would love to play Onimusha again, but I'm kind of spoiled with the Yakuza series. And
if they don't put that shit in a whole new engine, no.
Right,
I think it's just a port of the PS2
It's just
version.
a port of the PS2
No thanks.
version.
No thanks.
It's
Like nah,
just a
yo,
port.
like that shit is 10 times better. Like,
I
if you
honestly
side
think
by
they're
side-
just going to try to see if there's enough interest that they should go back to the series. So.
Exactly, and that's my dilemma. Like I know that if people don't buy this game, we're not going to get another Onimusha. But I really don't want to look at.
There are enough fucking like hardcore Onimusha fans that will buy this regardless.
All right,
you don't have to worry about it.
I will trust you all to buy this game so that we can get a real Onimusha game.
So, that is all of the release date announcements. There are a ton of them, as we went over. So I will pass it over to Terrence with our headlines.
Headlines. First up, Streets of Rage 4 is happening, and everyone was like, how do I feel about this? It's like, well, my first thought was, who's doing the music? Honestly, because the music was the biggest part of that game for me. Like the fight, the actual combat, it's a beat 'em up, whatever. But like, just the music that you're listening to as you're kicking people's asses was the best part. If Yuzo Koshiro is not doing the music, I don't care.
I don't like the art style either.
The art style's a little weird. There's only two characters.
It was a black guy.
Yeah, where did he go? Like, I don't see.
That's why I thought you wouldn't like it because the black guy
he was gone. I'm like, what the fuck?
And the little skateboard, the little roller skate
second
kid isn't in it.
Yeah, Skate.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yes.
All right. So
Then they just got Max, who was like the mixed wrestler. He looked like he may have been black and Hispanic. I don't know what the fuck he was. But yeah, I don't.
Fucking, you don't want to play as Urban Thor and Jennifer Lopez.
I felt, and then when I saw her character design, I'm like, so is it big enough where we're going to get a think piece? Because like, she literally has a loincloth on.
I mean, that's what she wore.
Yes, in 1991.
Right.
This is 2018.
She's dressed like a fly girl.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Rosie Perez and anyway.
Wait, Blaze Fielding?
Yeah, that's her name.
She's Jewish?
It was Blaze.
Why can't Jewish
Axel...
people be street brawlers, Micah?
I'm more upset about the Jewish person whose name is Blaze.
Axel Stone.
Yo, this
on.
game is
Are they
very
cops?
much.
Are they still cops?
This game is very much a product of its time.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still. Look, again,
So highly skeptical is
music.
what you're saying.
If I gotta hear music, if it's some bullshit, like I'm gonna go ahead and
Just a fair warning. I mean, I remember this story. It was 10 years ago when Mike and I first had met, and they announced they were doing the Turtles in Time remake. And they were up-resing and stuff like that. Everyone that we worked with was so excited.
I remember that.
We had it pre-ordered. We were ready to rock and roll. And we had a plan set up for that night. We were all going to go through the game together, 4-player co-op. And we started playing it. And the art style was a little iffy, but the music was fucking terrible.
I remember that game.
And I was like, it'll be redeemed as long as once we get to the sewer surfing, and as long as that's okay, we'll be good. And they completely changed the song. I'm like, I'm not playing this game anymore.
Like it doesn't even it literally doesn't have to be the same soundtrack because that'd be ridiculous.
Same
Like
style.
same.
soundtrack,
It's got to be like that same style of like house music / dance music that they had in those fucking. Like he's a good DJ, and if he's not doing the music, they can suck my dick from the back. Like I'm just not. I can't do it. You know, like that's the biggest thing that people remember of those games. You can't fuck that up. You know, you just can't.
As a quick aside, I'm so happy that that we've evolved from "Can you imagine" being a network slogan to "Suck my dick."
That's not ours though. Cannot take credit for that. But yeah, that's it. If it's not him, I don't care. And even like you said, the art style is a little not too. Because it looks like the Double Dragon Neo.
Yeah.
Neon or whatever. And I wasn't too big on that game either. Anyway, next up, Microsoft announces all access for Xbox One.
This seems vaguely familiar to something they did a few years back.
I feel like they tried this before. Yeah, Xbox All Access subscription offers consoles, Xbox Live and Game Pass for a monthly fee of $22. Oh, the plan starts at $22 a month. Microsoft announced Xbox All Access today, a new plan that includes subscriptions to Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass, as well as Xbox One hardware and a discounted monthly fee. So basically what you'll be able to do is rent a system.
Finance a system.
Yeah, for like
2 years.
Yo, stop it.
Look, what the fuck? You don't appreciate the rent-a-center approach to owning a console?
Look, there are all you kids and folks like that there are things that you finance. You finance cars, you finance houses, because those are things you need to live. And nobody has $30,000 just sitting in their pocket to buy a brand new car. So you finance it. And you pay interest, and that's all well and good. You don't finance your game console. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? What are you thinking? Now, to be fair, the Xbox One X one, not as bad, because that one's $35 a month, but you end up paying $860 at the end of the financing period when you could have paid $840 if you bought the stuff outright yourself. The One S one, you pay $660 at the end of the 2 years, when if you just paid for the stuff separately,
this is like $250, $300.
Right. So if you just bought the stuff outright, $528. So you literally would be paying Microsoft $132 more to make monthly payments on your fucking Xbox.
If you don't have it, don't buy it. Yo. If you don't got the money to buy the system, don't fucking do it.
If you don't have $200 clear.
Don't do this. Anyone listening to this.
Yo, what the fuck is Microsoft doing?
Don't do this.
What are they doing?
Anything they can. Anything they can, because they have to do something. They have to do something, because right now they are not in a good spot.
They really aren't.
They're not in a good spot.
Like, again,
all they can do, like I said, when you talk about the Xbox One X, Sony doesn't talk about the PS4 Pro that much. You know why? They don't fucking have to, because it sells itself. We're like, hey, yeah, it's a better PS4. Buy it.
That's literally
check out this cool custom Spider-Man one. Do you care what it does? No, you don't. You just care that it has a fucking Spider-Man logo on it. Meanwhile, everything you see from Microsoft is like, oh, Xbox One, the best place to play. The best place to play. Like that phrase gets bandied about again so much by them right now.
I will say, still to this day, Xbox Live is better than the PS4 online. It just is.
I don't even agree with that anymore.
No, it is because I play a lot of Dragon Ball,
right?
And for the PlayStation 4, in order to actually play with friends, you have to let them know what the fuck.
That's not a fault of Dragon Ball, though.
No.
Or I mean, on the PlayStation, that's a fault of Dragon Ball.
No, it isn't. Nope, this is a fault of Dragon. It's a fault of PlayStation because on PlayStation 4, you got to let them know what room. You got to let them know a code or whatever. You have to join that room. Xbox Live, join friend.
You can't just hit join session.
Nope.
You can't just hit join session on PlayStation.
No. You can just join session and you go right into the room.
But I can do that in Destiny. Like Micah the other day, I was soloing, and Micah texted me and he's like, "Hey, hop in. I want to do this thing." All I had to do was like find him on the roster and just hit join fire team, and then just send me right over there.
When the game started?
No, not when the game started. Like I was just playing.
He was already playing.
Right. I was in the world, and
I needed him
what
to
I mean,
come to my world.
you both had the game on.
Yeah.
No, like on Xbox Live, I could say, "Hey, I want to play such and such." Somebody will have a room created. I don't even have to be playing the game. I mean, like, bam, join friend in this game in this room. I have to literally turn the game on. Have to go to the
so that's like just like a small like quality of life upgrade then basically.
That's a huge quality.
I'm saying from
it takes an extra like 3 minutes to join a fucking game when I can just click a button.
From the performance standpoint, I've not noticed any problems really in the PS4 era, so.
As far as like between Xbox Live and like being like joining friends and all, it's 10 times better on Xbox. I will give it that. Everything else, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore.
Prepping for
the
Gen
next
9.
generation. Yeah, because I can't
idea.
see as a gamer like, okay, fine. If you have multiple systems and you can pick and choose which game you want to play on, whatever. I can't see how you can actually say, aside from like the actual hardware, the power behind the system, I can't see how you can say that the Xbox is the better choice.
Well, Microsoft
in this generation. I nigga, Spider-Man is on PlayStation 4 only. What the fuck, yo? I just don't. You don't see the fucking Yakuza games on fucking.
Well, that's the Japanese.
Do you really think
angle.
the Microsoft audience is going to run out to play a Yakuza game?
No, but still, I'm saying like it could be.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, it just doesn't make sense.
I mean, like I said, you remember that like Square tried that shit on 360. Like they came out with The Last Remnant, they came out with the Blue Dragon. Just they were trying to be like, we're gonna cultivate this RPG audience, and people in Japan were like, nah.
They were like, nah. They were like fucking Call of Duty. Whatever.
Like I'm still rocking this PS3. Yeah, or no, you're right, PS2 at the time. Yeah, they're like, I'm cool with that. Like,
Microsoft has no foothold at all in the West.
Yep.
On the East, sorry. That's a goddamn shame.
I mean, they're losing it in the West too right now. And like I said, this shit is cyclical. Like when they'll be first to market with the next console, and it'll probably be really good. And a lot of people will jump to that.
They better learn their lesson from because.
Well, I think the lesson they learned,
they fucked themselves over from the very beginning with their initial rollout of the system.
Oh, absolutely, and they've continued to fuck themselves because, like I said, the One X was advertised as like, "Hey, PC gamers, like we got the cool, like this is almost as good as your PC, and it's a console." And but PC gamers were like, but no, PC gamers were like, "Yeah, but I can already play all of your games on my PC. And why do I need to buy a game console to do this?"
Does anybody still watch TV through their Xbox?
No, I mean I
remember when people were like, "But yo, I can have a TV over there and play the game over." Do people still?
Yeah, when I'm watching TV, the thing that I want to make sure is happening is my console also running simultaneously because that's something that you want.
I don't even watch TV. Like I don't. So
yeah, that should have been your question. Does anybody watch TV anymore?
That's what I thought the question was. To be honest with you. Like, I don't remember the last time I turned my cable on.
But yes, don't finance your fucking game console.
Yeah, don't finance a video game.
$22 a month. Get the fuck out of here.
Get $200 clear and buy yourself an Xbox.
I mean, some people can't do that.
$200 clear is a strong episode. Title contender. So
next up, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is getting a limited edition Pro Controller and a Steelbook.
So this bundle, so there's a bundle they're coming out with that has the Pro Controller, the game, and the Steelbook. This bundle is the most Nintendo fucking thing in the history of Nintendo things. So check this shit out. So this Pro Controller, first of all, Micah, the Pro Controller, the Super Smash Bros. Pro Controller, it's a decent looking controller. It's all right. It's whatever. But it costs $5 more than the standard Pro Controller. So $74.99
because it's got the Smash logo.
Act like Kazuma Kiryu and just walk out.
Right. But here's the best part. So the bundle that comes with the Pro Controller, the Smash Brothers game, and the Steelbook case is a total of $140 or $139.99. So the controller is $75. The game is $60. That adds up, if my math is correct, to a total of $135.
Yes.
You are paying $5 for a Steelbook case in this fucking bundle.
All right. Look, and that's the thing. Like, people will do it.
People will do it because they're crazy. Man. Could you imagine if they came out with like a GameCube styled Pro Controller? Like if they came out with a Pro Controller that was shaped like a GameCube controller?
And look, if they do that, and anyone that says they want it, they all need to be arrested. They do, yo. They do. I know you people like that video game controller. Like, I don't like that jelly bean buttons, yo. And
that GameCube controller is
it's got jelly bean buttons and candy corn C sticks, yo. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's not a good controller.
It's not.
It just isn't. I don't know what kind of weird ass.
There's nothing symmetrical about it. Like, it's nah, yo. Nah.
I'm afraid I've given Nintendo an idea now, though. That's the fear. That's the fear. They're listening to this podcast now. They're like, holy shit, we could do a GameCube Pro Controller. That would be amazing.
Don't do that.
They will. I'm shocked they haven't done it yet, honestly. I'm shocked they didn't think to do it with this.
When does Smash come out? December?
Yeah.
All right.
Full disclosure, I kind of want to switch now. Yo, because I have a lot of downtime sometimes when I'm not in the house.
Let me tell you this.
I can easily see myself playing like Dead Cells. Just
the Switch has changed my buying habits because like Guacamelee 2 just came out on PS4. I'm just like,
I'm waiting.
I feel like that's going to come out on the Switch eventually.
Right, because it's like a fucking like...
Yep, that's the perfect game for it.
Yep.
So then you take the train to work.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just kind of like...
It'd be
could perfect. I be sitting in front of my TV playing this or just on the go?
Yep.
On the go, man.
A lot of people buy it just
I take
for
that bitch
purpose.
to work. Put it right underneath my computer monitors and just fucking have at it. And then I'll have my
that's
hands.
even the best part. Because like I said, you can still treat it like it's home console. Micah keeps his Joy-Cons in his pocket.
I do. I keep my you see where my hands at right now? I keep them right here and I play the games just like that because all right, ain't nobody going. And I have a mirror. I have a mirror on top of my monitor so that when I see people, I can just be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" and just turn right around and they'll see me.
The problem
right,
is
exactly.
where I sit, it wouldn't be conducive to me trying that shit. But like, I didn't do shit Friday. I finished all of my important work by like 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
and I had shit to do for the rest of the day.
Yeah, sounds like me. And I played Bayonetta.
I'm waiting for you to really step your game up and wear like a hoodie with like a front pocket and have the Pro Controller there.
Oh, that's what Casual Friday's for, buddy. Just gotta wait for it to get a little colder.
Jesus Christ. I'm like, there's certain games that like I would probably enjoy more if I had the ability to play them elsewhere outside of it than my TV.
Yep.
But anyway, I don't think that's gonna happen. Oh, right. Cyberpunk 2077 released a 48-minute... Did you guys watch it?
It was
twice.
Glorious. Oh. You watched it twice?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I loved it.
Yo.
Oh, JJ watched it as well?
I watched about 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, I love it.
I'll buy the shit out of that game.
That shit looks fucking dope. Like, I don't even... When does that come out?
No one knows.
Yeah,
no one knows.
And that's the bad part about it. It's like, God damn it. Like, why did I watch this thing? Because this game ain't coming out no time soon.
I'm gonna reserve it as soon as they give me a date. Look, I like The Witcher, but it's not my cup of tea as far as the aesthetic and like just the gameplay wise. Oh, this is the first person shooter with fucking with their sensibilities. Come on, man.
It was funny. It's like nothing in the demo was like worlds beyond what anyone else is doing right now. Like you could watch that demo and be like, oh, it's like Deus Ex basically.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very similar in the gameplay style and the aesthetic and doing the upgrade and stuff like that. But just something about it. Like it's probably just the setting, the fact that they fucking nailed the shit
and it's the
out of
fact that it's CG Project Red.
Right.
They know what the fuck they're doing. Like, yes, this is something they've never done before. I trust those foreigners. Like, I just do. You know, they make very good games, and this just looks like I don't have anything else to say. Like I'm going to pick it up.
If you haven't watched the demo, it is damn near an hour, but do yourself a favor and watch the fucking demo. It'll be a lot better than a demo that I've seen of Red Dead Redemption. I can tell you that.
Yo, I saw a headline that said that the Red Dead Redemption demo is putting GameStop employees to sleep.
I have a we'll call him a source that can attest to the validity of that headline.
Damn.
Wow. Wait, is it just like what they're showing is just fucking
I mean,
boring?
if you want to see a dude ride a horse for 25 minutes, then yeah, Red Dead Redemption demo is pretty cool. But
God damn.
Yeah. Other than that,
I told you, I ain't picking that up.
I mean, like I said,
I'm not excited for that game at all.
From what I heard from my source on the matter, he spent a lot of time. He rode a horse and he got off his horse and he shot some rabbits and
he did that in the first one.
Yeah, and then stripped the pelts and he attached that and then he rode his horse again to a campsite that a farmer was at and he held the farmer up and stole his fish that he caught and stuff like that and then he rode back to camp and. Oh, he also killed a deer with a bow and arrow.
They didn't give your source like a mission to do?
No. And
no, you can't.
Well, but here, my source's favorite part of the demo was the part where he kills a buck. Right now, this is a game that prides itself on realism and a real living world and all the stuff that he killed that buck. He walked over that fucking thing, picked it up like it weighed nothing, and slung it over his shoulder and carried it to his horse and just tossed it on the back. Eventually, Micah, my source tells me that you got to see a bank heist mission, which was also just all right.
God damn.
Yeah, because it takes place in the Wild West.
Yeah, right? You can't really have a simulator be a Wild West simulator because there wasn't nothing out there.
Now, again, context is everything. That was a small slice of the game. Obviously, if you're playing it, it's probably going to be a lot more fun. But
but the entire purpose of a demo
is to get you
hyped to play the full game.
Right.
I don't want to walk around fucking skinning
My source was already not really interested in Red Dead Redemption 2. He is even less interested now than he was before to check out that game.
Oh,
Jesus
God
Christ.
damn it.
Again, I first of all, the trailer didn't do anything for me, and 2K's practices, Rockstar and their practices with their fucking like nickel and diamond people, is rubbing me the wrong way.
Well, good transition into the next story.
Yeah.
So
no, I didn't read the next story,
Yeah.
but I have no desire. 2K strips. Oh, you motherfuckers! 2K strips some features out of NBA 2K19 to comply with Dutch and Belgian loot laws.
Only there though, which is weird.
Yeah,
only in those localities. So.
2K has removed some elements of microtransactions from its basketball franchise NBA 2K in a bid to comply with gambling laws in Belgium and the Netherlands. Yeah, they're like the biggest culprits. Basically, you have to pay money to get your character good.
In an efficient manner. Yes.
Yeah, like or you'll be playing for 1,000 hours trying to fucking get your goddamn character to hit a free throw. Like that's unacceptable to me. Like, and they've been doing that for like the last 3 years. It's just got progressively worse with them. So yeah, in Belgium, my team packs can remain on the premise that players may only use their in-game currency to purchase them, but given the law that in the Netherlands prohibits games which include loot box style mechanics and the items they contain are transferable, Auction House has been removed in its entirety while 2K works. That
is wild, by the way. So for context, like I said, FIFA works the same exact way as fucking because my team was modeled for Ultimate Team. So in the Netherlands, you literally cannot go to the auction house that's in the game that you can buy other people's like player cards that they're selling for in-game currency, by the way. That's just gone. Can't do it. So the only players that you can get in the Netherlands in 2K are the ones that you buy in random packs. So if you want like a specific player, you better keep rolling the dice until that player pops up. That's crazy to me. But has to be what they do, I guess.
That's interesting. Like, yo, don't buy any of the 2K games.
They're crying foul on this. Basically, they're putting out a call to action to their player base to contact their local governments to voice their discontent.
They're like,
having to do this.
I'm not doing that. They actually had the
call
trailer.
to action to support our corporate greed.
They had the trailer for fucking NBA 2K19. I didn't see any on call to action.
Yeah.
It was like the My Playground,
the neighborhood and stuff like that.
What the fuck is this?
Can you imagine like the call to action be like, call your local government? We are the 99%. Like don't tell them.
Like, nah, yeah, don't do that. They're like, what? I mean, the government might be like, nah, fuck that. But this is the Belgian. This is not the American.
Yeah, it's not,
like,
not the same. Mind. Not the same dynamics. Yeah. Like in the U.S., nothing's fucking changing.
Yeah,
like you can still fork over all of your paycheck to VC. So that you can get your player up to 90 within the first 2 weeks that the game is out.
How is that not a bigger story?
Because remember they were the first ones. Like they were the first ones to start attracting negative attention, and then Star Wars ruined everything. Like once Battlefront 2 came out, and you're like, oh, you can literally pay to win in this game to make your character better, and people were like, oh, this is fucked up. Meanwhile, 2K is like, oh, is the coast clear?
Cool. They never stop.
Cool. Let's just pretend like none of this ever happened.
Slide this VC. Because you see it, like, sometimes when I'm going through, like, to see if there's, like, any kind of sales or anything to pick up a game for, like, $5, there'll be, like, a sale for VC.
Right. I mean, GTA is no different. Like, it's like, man, I really want this fucking car. That's awesome. In GTA Online, oh, it's $5 million. Cool. Let me go buy a $50 card.
So I can go buy this $50 shark card that gives you $5 million.
Right, and people do that shit like crazy.
So you spent $50 real on an in-game vehicle. You're a fucking fool.
Yeah.
I wish I had that kind of disposable income.
And like I said, meanwhile, Fortnite's able to do this shit without even having to worry about actual like stuff that does anything in the game.
Yeah,
like it's just cosmetic.
But it's free.
Yeah,
Fortnite is free.
Correct. That is the difference.
All the other fucking games, you pay $60 and then you want to get your character good.
Yep.
Either put 2,000 hours or
not in
$60.
Not in the Netherlands, I guess.
That shit is insane to me. Like, stop buying these fucking games, yeah.
But do know that they didn't mention anything about my player in this at all. So which is honestly the biggest. Yeah, that's the worst thing.
Yeah, that's the mode where you have to pay
for
VC to level your character up to past 75 or whatever the fucking nonsense that is.
Yeah.
That's a shit.
Crazy stuff. But listen, I know that you want your character to be leveled up as much as you possibly can. I know that you want to buy all the VC. No better place to do it than to buy your PlayStation and Xbox network cards at densepixels.com/Amazon. Look, you're going to sit there with a fucking level 77 my player 2 weeks after NBA 2K comes out. Get the fuck out of here. You want that shit at 99 post haste. You go to densepixels.com/Amazon. You buy your PlayStation Network cards. We get a small percentage in sale, which we use to help pay for hosting fees. And then you got your level 99 baller in your neighborhood. So, yeah, use our Amazon site when you're buying your VC or anything else.
You'd be a great Billy Mays replacement.
you like I turn on a dime to go to corporate chill just to raise some money. Yeah, fuck 2K though. Fuck them. We're back out of the promo read now.
There you go. Yeah. Fucking go to densepixels.com/Amazon and buy OxyClean.
He's dead, right?
He's dead.
He is dead.
Yes.
Well, there's a terrible segue. But,
God,
wow.
No.
But, this is serious, folks.
This is a goddamn shame.
It is. A competitor in a Madden NFL 19 tournament in Jacksonville, Florida, opened fire during the event, killing 2 people before taking his own life. At a news conference, Sheriff Mike Williams of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office identified the shooter as suspect David Katz, 24 years of age, from Baltimore. Great. Sheriff Williams said that Katz was in a Madden tournament as a competitor and that Katz shot and killed multiple people, then fatally shot himself. The 2 victims that were killed include 22-year-old Elijah Clayton of Wood Hills, California, known as True Boy, and Taylor Robertson, known as Spot Me Please, the 28-year-old of Giles, West Virginia. Tournament was being live streamed on Twitch at the time of the shooting. Twitch took down the clip in question, but archives are available for you sick fucking bastards that want to hear this. This is just a terrible, terrible situation all around. That fucking guy killed himself, which you did it backwards, buddy. How about you shoot yourself first and then, die? All this because reportedly he was mad that he lost.
Yeah, that's what they're reporting. He lost, and apparently the guy, of course, had all sorts of mental health problems that went unchecked, but yet was somehow still able to acquire guns.
Get it into the tournament. They don't like metal detectors.
I mean, would you think to have metal detectors at a video game tournament?
In this day and age, yeah. I mean, they're going to now.
Yeah.
You better fucking believe it. So
metal detector in my damn house. I don't trust you. You walk through the fucking front door.
Yeah, this is completely senseless, and I don't want to hear anything about he was disturbed and this, that, and the other. Like, nah. If you're that disturbed, you don't need to be out the house. I don't know. If you are that mentally ill, one, you shouldn't have access to guns. The gun thing is I'll never understand it. Like, I get that people like their guns. I like guns too. I fired guns. It's a blast. No pun intended.
Really?
But it's not something you need. And people always say, "Oh, Second Amendment." Well, that's to overthrow the government. I don't see any of you Second Amendment people walking up to the White House brandishing your guns. You know why? Because you would be fucking shot.
Yeah.
So
they have the bigger guns.
Well, and the other thing too is that this is also going to get. I guarantee you that at some point this is going to get held up because this dude bought these guns legally in Maryland, one of the harder states in the country.
How fucking hard it is to get a gun in Maryland?
So people pointed out and be like, "See, having extra gun restrictions won't stop anything." No, motherfucker, they ain't hard enough in that case. That's
right.
My perspective.
That's what that means. Yeah. It's still not hard enough. And most people, what most Marylanders do is they just go to Virginia at a gun show,
right,
and then just roll back home.
And this sounds shitty to say because, like I said, the first thought that I had was, oh great, another like random one of these. It's almost. The word that I'm going to use is not the word that I mean to use. It's almost reassuring to find out that this was a like there's a cause and effect relationship to this tragedy happening. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm happy that it wasn't like a completely senseless act of violence that some dude just wanted to kill as many people as possible, so he went to this gathering that was down there. Which is why you probably haven't been hearing much about this shooting in the the week following it, after the initial news broke. Also, the body count probably wasn't high enough either, which is probably why it's not being played out.
Ain't that a goddamn shame?
Right. Well,
goddamn, two people lost their lives, but it's not bloody enough for the news. So.
Right. So we don't have to keep carrying it.
We don't have to keep.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. But this fucking it's entered our world now. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what my thoughts were when I heard the news.
I think it's always been associated with our world. In a sense that it is always the scapegoat for when one of the, he played Halo, so of course he shot up that school.
I mean, I guess thankfully it was Madden and not Call of Duty that
right.
That's
right, and that's another fucked up thing. Like, but I'm glad it was like a sports thing, right? And it wasn't Call of Duty where the layperson just sees a floating gun killing people.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think, Terrence?
My first thought was, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, this happened at a video game tournament, and I'm like, it's Madden. Still doesn't matter. It's video games. And then my first thought, video games make people violent, and here we go again. But surprisingly enough, I haven't really heard that. Again, I haven't heard much of it. I haven't heard anything about it in the mainstream news. Look, we don't need weapons. We don't need guns. We don't. And the fact that he was able to get those guns, given all of his issues, like they said, they've been to his house 20 something times because he had some kind of mental issues. I'm like, what the fuck? He should be in like in care in like some kind of mental institution, right? At that point. Or in therapy or something or whatever.
Even if he didn't need to be committed, like at the very least, he didn't need to have fucking guns.
What kind of background? How old was he?
24.
What kind of background check do you do for a gun?
Criminal?
I don't know.
Basic criminal.
Like, I know
check.
I could get a gun easily.
Yeah.
You know why I don't have one? Because I would use it. That's the truth. That's the God's honest truth. Like if I would be angry enough, I would probably use it, and I don't need one. I just don't. No one needs a gun. Because people are like, oh, it's for home protection. Like, yo, if I had a gun, and someone broke in, they will be shot. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
that's what I have.
But
right?
if that's also your excuse, then it should never leave the home.
Yeah, you shouldn't take it out of you. Like open carry. What the fuck, dude? You don't need to walk around with a goddamn an assault rifle strapped to your back just because you can. There's no point.
And imagine that that means that this dude would have had to drive down to Florida for this tournament. You can fly with a gun.
Yeah, you can't fly.
Right. So he drove from, that's a 13-hour drive.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
So
you know what? That's weird because like that's a 13-hour drive. He took his gun with him.
Right.
So it may have been premeditated.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah, like you say, you can't fly with a gun. If he drove 13 hours and he put the gun, not unless he just had it in his car. Like, what the fuck? No, you don't.
And by the way, we haven't even mentioned the fact that 2 people died, but 10 more people were wounded from gunfire.
Yeah, he just started firing
right
in a tournament. Like he's going to hit somebody.
And coincidentally, not to make light of this at all, but this just shows me that I never need to go to Jacksonville Landing ever again, because the only 2 associations I have with this are this event and the time that I went there immediately following a Trump rally in the lead up to the Republican primary.
Yeah, Florida, stay out of Florida. Don't hold events in Florida.
Is it bad that when we were there, because this is when we were down for your wedding. Mm-hmm. So when the rally happened, obviously the landing was still bustling. The restaurants, we wanted to eat something. I said, where can we eat that would be less crowded than any of the other restaurants? A Mexican restaurant is what we settled on. And it was not very crowded. Following a Trump rally, shockingly. I know.
Oh man.
That's so fucked up.
This is just sad all around, man. Look, either get good or don't play video games. Like this is fucking ridiculous with the gun shit.
I'm shocked at how quickly it left the news cycle, though, honestly. Like I was expecting to be hearing about this, just because of the video game angle.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I think you're right. I think it's just because the body count wasn't high. The body count wasn't high enough, and people couldn't. And people
that too.
Yeah, and the shooter was white. Yeah, like there was no.
Oh, so what you're telling me is another white shooter. So
yeah,
we don't have to worry about this anymore. There's too many of those out there right
now.
His
mental state.
He was mentally disturbed. Right. That was the first thing they put out there, man. That was the first thing that they made sure to say that, well, he was crazy, so, it's not the gun's fault. It was the crazy guy's fault. All right, All right. If the crazy guy didn't have the gun, then the crazy guy would just be crazy.
It's weird. It's weird that most mass shooters have some sort of mental distress that they go through. It's almost as if that's a causal of this happening.
It's strange,
and we should pay attention to that aspect a little bit more.
White mass shooters have mental disabilities,
right?
And guns. It's really weird how that works. Terrence, I can walk down the street,
Terrence. I get what you're saying.
And get pulled
we
over
need
by
to worry about what's going on in Chicago more first before we address this topic. So. Terrence, I don't know if you're aware, there are black people killing other black people, and it's a huge epidemic that we need to address before we can worry about these white mass shooters. So.
That's a goddamn
White people are really concerned.
Right. Like they are. Yeah. It's fucking
in Chicago in fucking 80s.
Get your fucking home. Yo,
Michael Jordan's from Chicago, isn't he? No, he's not. He's not. just shut up. In light of this, EA has announced a new initiative to support the victims of the shooting and unite the community following the tragedy. The company has announced via its website that it would make a $1 million contribution to the victims' families from EA, as well as hold a live stream play event to celebrate the Madden NFL family. Quote, first, we are making a $1 million contribution to support the victims of last Sunday's events. We are also working to set up a fund where others can contribute alongside our donation, and we will come back very soon with further details. Contributions will go to the victims, including the families of Taylor Robertson, Elijah Clayton, and all who were affected. What do you think about EA's response to this situation? Does EA hold any culpability to it? Is EA doing enough? Should they come out and go straight like anti-gun? Should they make a statement? Should they make a political statement? Or should they continue to just be like, hey, we're sorry this happened at our event. We're going to try and look out for these people.
Should EA make a political statement?
Yeah.
No, because it's not going to do anything.
No, and plus they can't. I mean, if you really think about it, like EA can't be like, yeah, we're against guns, but we're going to publish Battlefield.
Right.
5. Like,
Battlefield.
that doesn't
Right.
that doesn't really jive. Look, man, I mean, I think this is a pretty like $1 million is nothing to sneeze at,
Right.
By any stretch of the imaginations. I would imagine that will go a long way to taking care of like funeral expenses, medical bills, things like that, possible psychological care, because I'd imagine that the people affected are going to need some after all of this is over. I don't really put any. I mean, you can't put any of this on them, right?
No, you can't.
Yeah.
But I'm just bringing it up because somebody out there will.
Well, I mean, they are the worst company in America,
Right.
Obviously,
Right.
So.
They're worse than Bank of America and Wells Fargo, and all that shit. They're the worst company in America.
I mean, I know that Bank of America, is a corrupt financial institution, but I mean, EA ruined the Mass Effect 3 ending, Micah. So.
Right. But EA put out Mass Effect Andromeda.
Right.
So
6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Really.
one last thing I want to talk about. I made a brief comment. I find it repugnant that
It's a good
people.
word, by the way.
Yes, I find it just horrible that people that people want to listen to this. That people wanted to listen to
there
it.
were like fucking Twitch reaction videos
and the Twitch reaction videos
watching
of people watching them listening to it. There's curiosity, and then there's just bad taste, and that is bad taste, man. I don't want to hear.
I think it goes beyond bad taste. Trying to, because let's be honest, what they're doing, trying to profit on the backs of a fucking tragedy is fucking craven, is what that is.
Yeah, I just all you people who wanted to listen to it and then made reaction videos of it, like there's something wrong with you. You people need Jesus. You do, yo. I mean, that's the only thing I can really say because I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand that. What's happening right now?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on, I think.
No, so I'm in the booth behind the scenes.
Producer Jay in the booth.
So I'm surprised that YouTube allowed those videos to stand.
Oh well,
Did
so
they take them
Twitch took down any videos that were reaction videos to the thing. So.
Like, yeah, your point is sound. Like you're literally just trying to make a profit off of someone's death. Like they're like, oh, but these were people I admire. These are my friends. Then why are you doing?
Why are you live streaming it?
Yeah,
like if you want to react to it, put up a fucking blog post and be like, "This
is how I feel."
Or put up a live stream, but don't let's watch me watching this.
Right.
Oh my god!
And here's an ad in the middle of it.
Right. Like it to me, it feels like that might be the best culmination of how shitty like social media is at this point.
Yeah,
is that you will literally not give a shit that someone died that you supposedly cared about or cared about their product or whatever they did, that you would try to profit off of their death in like real time. It's not like, okay, it's a week later and like let's talk about it.
Like there was no hesitation.
Yeah,
getting this shit
to me,
up, so.
and I'm a lot meaner than most people in situations like this. I would ban that person's Twitch account for good. Like, that's cool. You did that. Not only is that video gone, but you're banned, perma banned from Twitch. You're done. Because like, you can't allow that, and like, not just take down their video because maybe they lost a couple of dollars, but make it so that you never do this again. You are done on that platform because it's just basically you're promoting death. Is what you're doing for profit.
Yeah, it's just. I was really, really annoyed. People were sending the links around of oh, hey, you can listen to it. I don't want to listen to that. Yeah. And when I saw a screen cap of some dude reacting to it, like,
I was like, whoa,
nigga, what is your fucking problem, man? It really pissed me off, man. Anyway,
I've been saying it for years. People ain't shit.
Fucking stank ass people. God, I hate the internet. I mean, I love you people.
I love this. I love this technological marvel that allows us to come into your ears all the time. Densepixel.com/Amazon. To buy anything big or small.
All right. Anything else? Do you have anything else?
No. It's just this situation fucking sucks. And like I said, nothing will be done.
Right.
Not to be a nihilist about it, but
So I don't have a segue. Next up, Google has just publicly disclosed that it discovered an extremely serious vulnerability in Epic's first Fortnite installer for Android that allowed any app on your phone to download and install anything in the background, including apps with full permissions granted without the user's knowledge.
I gotta tell you, when Fortnite and Epic announced that they weren't going to go through the Google Play Store, the secure marketplace that Google runs to make sure that no malware exists, and they wanted to sideload everything so they could avoid having to give Google the 30% cut that they're entitled to of anything they sell. I'm shocked that this happened. Shocked, I tell you. I am beside myself with surprise that within a week of this shit happening, that someone found a workaround in the installer that allowed potentially malware to find its way to your phone.
Exactly.
Shocked.
Yeah, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, I mean, why didn't you just play the lottery that day, Brad? Because you were a goddamn soothsayer. The Fortnite installer was very easily exploitable to hijack, according to Google's security team. It was easily exploitable to hijack the request to download Fortnite from Epic and instead download anything when you tap the button to download the game. It's what's known as the man in the desk attack. An app on your phone looks for requests to download something from the internet and intercepts that request to download something else instead, unbeknownst to the original downloading app.
And possible because the Fortnite installer was designed improperly. Again, shocking. Shocking that this is something that happened.
Look, I don't use Android phones.
Well, here's the issue why this is bad. So there is a setting on your Android phone that you have to even get. So this isn't even in the main settings. This is something that is in a hidden developer menu that's on your phone. That's easy to access. Like if you know how to do it, it takes 2 seconds to access this menu. But within this developer menu is a setting that protects your phone from downloading and installing apps that come from unknown sources, meaning not Google Play. Mm-hmm. In order to sideload anything on your Android phone, you have to enable these developer settings, go in there and check a box that says, I will allow unknown sources to install apps on my phone. It's the only way to get a sideloaded app onto your phone is to basically put down the firewall that that protects fucking malware from coming in on your phone. So again, that's why you don't fucking circumvent the process. Like, I get you want to keep as much of your money as possible, and that this is the only platform in which you're able to do that without, without running into problems. But there's a reason the safeguards exist, Epic. There's a reason that you go through Google Play, you fucking idiots.
Well, Epic was like, hey.
Oh, this was my favorite. This part of it's my favorite part of the fucking story.
Epic was like, so Google publicly issued this, like, hey, there's a problem here. You might want to be aware of it. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney believes that Google publishing the flaw is a, quote, valid PR strategy, but criticized Google's decision to publicize it a week after the patch had been issued. Epic originally requested Google to refrain from revealing the problem for a period of 90 days rather than Google's usual 7 days. Quote, so users have time to patch their devices. According to Tim Sweeney, this is because Fortnite updates on Android are downloaded only when the game is launched. Here's a quote. Here's a tweet from Tim Sweeney. There's a technical detail here that's important. The Fortnite installer only updates when you run it or run the game. So if a user only runs it every X days, then the update won't be installed for X days. We felt X equals 90 would be much better than X equals 7. What?
So basically, he's saying that because, let's say you downloaded Fortnite, pre-patch, and you didn't open the game for 2 months. Within that 2-month period, this patch, this security defect was on your phone, essentially. So what he's saying is that if Google had waited longer, more people would have opened the app naturally. Because if you don't follow the news, you would not have heard about this necessarily. So more people will open the app naturally within a 90-day period than might open it within a 7-day period. He's saying because Google came out and said something about this, 7 days later, it gave people who wanted to exploit it more opportunity. Because
so it's Google's fault,
right? Because there might be more people out there who aren't aware that the patch is there, but their phones are now exploitable, and now like people that want to exploit it know there's a backdoor that they could get into those phones.
So Epic just basically said, well, what was Google wearing when she was raped?
Yes.
Essentially.
All
right,
So
right. You shouldn't have wore that dress.
And you know what?
You shouldn't have wore that dress, Google.
Tim Sweeney, when he says that, it's a valid PR, like a PR move, he's not wrong.
Right.
Like, he's kind of right.
Right.
But at the same time, fuck you, Epic.
Right. You know what else is a valid PR move? Not putting out defective products.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Your public relations would go up.
So basically Epic was like, yeah, we know we fucked up, but you don't gotta fucking tell everybody that we fucked up.
That's some cruddy ass single father trying to impress his kids, but his wife comes around and tells him how much their father ain't shit.
Pretty much. So, and this is a quote from Tim Sweeney. So this is a tweet that he sent out. Android is an open platform. We release software for it. When Google identified a security flaw, we worked around the clock literally to fix it and release an update. This is the money quote right here. The only irresponsible thing here is Google's rapid public release of the technical details.
Wow.
What kind of shit? I was Google, I'm like, fuck off.
That is an amazing amount of hubris. To fucking put out there in a single quote. just a stunning amount of hubris to be able to be like, us fucking up and having fucking malware get on your phones wasn't the problem. Google telling you about it was the fucking problem. Wow. Amazing. Like I said, as someone who's an Android user who back in the day used to like root and fucking install like custom software on their phones, like this response from Epic is unfathomable.
So someone, I guess, replied to these tweets directly saying no to Tim McSweeney, I guess. He said, no, use the Google ecosystem or expect them to publish vulnerabilities to protect Android users.
That's the correct response.
And he says Tim Sweeney is wrong. And then Tim Sweeney replied, the word punishment is very appropriate here, but how does rapidly disclosing the technical details of a security flaw to hackers do anything to protect Android users? Well,
it tells them to update their fucking app right away because there's a security flaw sitting on your phone.
Right, because some asshole decides yo, Jesus Christ, man.
Well, and again, because they wanted to save their 30%, because they wanted to keep their profits and keep all that stuff, now they have a stigma that's attached with their game on Android forever. Forever.
This guy looks like a prick too.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking douchebag.
you know.
Like, I'm looking at his picture. I'm
You
like,
know.
I kind of want to punch him in the face just because of the way he looks.
Now, to be fair, there's things that Fortnite is doing that is smart. For example, they're actually there's a exclusive emote in the game that you get only if you enable 2-factor authentication on your Epic account. That's smart. That's a smart thing to do because not enough people use 2FA, and everyone should be using it on any fucking account that you have that has it as an option. Like it's the minimum safeguard that you can put on any account to keep it from getting exploited. But I still can't believe, like you said, the corresponding thing is, yeah, but what clothes was she wearing when she was raped? Like that's pretty much what Epic is doing here. And it's amazing.
Jesus,
it's amazing. They should get dragged over the fucking coals for this. And anyone that does it, it's completely rightful because there's no excuse for this shit. All you had to do was publish this shit in the Google Play Store. Google would take care of everything for you.
Yeah,
it's going to cost you 30% of the revenue that you get off of Android. But how many other revenue sources do you have right now?
Yeah,
that shouldn't fuck it. Like the security of your fucking users should be paramount to anything else. I'm sorry to get so fucking frustrated about this.
Oh,
but
I could imagine as the Android user in the room.
Well, but again, like to do a lot of cool stuff on your Android phone, you have to make it less secure. But that also makes for increased responsibility on not only the user but the provider of these services to make sure they're taking care of you so that you don't, open a door that you shouldn't open and have shit running in the door. Like that, like the fact that Epic was so negligent in that is unconscionable. Like that, that's how I really fucking feel about it. It's ridiculous. And again, because they're putting profits over the security of their users.
Yeah. Well,
so
That's what most people do, Scott.
I'm gonna stay in my
it's good business to keep to take care of your customers. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's good PR.
That's good business.
Yeah, it's good PR. But then if you're Tim McSweeney or whatever the fuck his name is, like apparently letting people know that it's an issue is a problem.
I guess.
like what?
I didn't intend to get this fired up about this story, but
why y'all telling niggas so quick though?
Yeah, but what about my 30 cents though?
Right. To be clear, the initial exploit pissed me off when I saw the story about them. Like,
response,
fucking, I was done. I was fucking done at that point. I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And I'm glad that I have the platform to be able to rail off about this because I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this shit with Android. Ugh. That's our show. Make sure you go to densepixels.com/fans. If you've not joined our Facebook group yet, it is a good time. You will enjoy it. Again, subscribe to the shows, subscribe on YouTube, and click the bell icon on YouTube because YouTube, you have to do that or you won't know that when we post episodes. And then, of course, we are all on Twitch TV. We have the main Dense Pixels account, which streams all of our streams whenever we do go live. But if you want to follow us personally, I'm Dense Pixels Brad, Terrence is Apparition 410, Micah is Dense Black Nerd, and Carrie is Suppets Carrie. Hope this made up for for missing last week. Big supersized episode. Thank you all very much for listening and watching, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Hated.
You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here, and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.